Hi everyone, it's Delaney, Senior Inbound Marketing Specialist at Hivehouse Digital. Today, I'll be walking you through how to set up a deal pipeline in HubSpot. Deal pipelines help you visualize the different stages of the buying cycle a prospect takes and helps you measure the probability they will close. Let's get into it. So to either edit or create a whole new pipeline in HubSpot, what you're going to do is click on the gear icon at the top, and then scroll down and find deals from this objects drop-down menu. Then at the top, you have these different tabs. You're going to click on pipelines. And you can see in this, this is one of our test portals. We have two default pipelines. We've got sales and the Salesforce. For the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to show you how to create a brand new pipeline. But if you have a default pipeline already in your HubSpot account, you can basically follow the same steps and just edit it. So what we're going to do is click on Create Pipeline, and I'm going to name this Tech Tip Pipeline and create the pipeline. So what you first want to do is scroll down and let's configure this pipeline. So this has some example stages already in it, but this is really going to vary based on your sales process. So before you create the pipeline in HubSpot, you really want to sit down with your sales team and determine the different stages that make sense for your process. So let's say that before you even have an appointment scheduled, you want a stage called qualified leads. All you have to do is click on an existing stage name and name it qualified. And this is assuming that you haven't used the pipeline yet. So we renamed it qualified leads. Maybe we want to change the deal probability. We can go ahead and change that to, let's say, 10%. And then after that, let's say we don't need this qualified to buy. We can go ahead and just delete that. And then let's say we want to change this stage from presentation scheduled to discovery call completed. And let's say we want to change this to 20, let's say 30% probability. And then we're looking at the other default stages. Let's say decision maker bought in. We don't need that. Let's delete that. And then contract sent. Let's change this to proposal sent. Because let's say we call it proposals instead of contracts, just change it to what makes sense for you. And let's say we want to change this to, let's just say 60% probability. So you've got qualified leads, discovery call completed, proposal sent, and then you have your closed won and lost. But maybe there's another stage that you want to add in here. Let's say we want to add a stage. We go to the bottom, click add stage. And let's say we want to have all of our salespeople maybe assess something prior to the discovery call. So for our case, we would be assessing marketing. So let's name this marketing assessment completed. Let's change that typo. And then on the left-hand side, there's all these little dots. You can go ahead and click that to drag and drop the stage name to where you want it to be. I'm going to leave this deal probability at 10% because that's not really changing the deal probability. It's just kind of an internal step in the sales process. And one thing we recommend to all of our clients is having your deal stage names in the past tense. That way there's no confusion over whether or not the deal stage is for something that's supposed to happen in that stage or something that has already been done. So we want to make sure that all of our stage names are in the past tense. We're good there. Then we want to just review the deal stage probability, make sure it makes sense. This is something you can always change as you go through your sales process and just noticing whether or not does 60% really make sense? Should it be 70%, 80%? Should it be lower? You can always add more stages in as you go that make sense. Then you have your next column. This is editing access, and that determines who can edit deals at that deal stage. So the default is users with access to deals, but you can always limit it to just super admins if you want. And finally, the last column we have over here is update stage properties. And this will be for what things need to be updated when the deal moves into that stage. So there are so many different examples for what properties could be updated at different stages, but let's give a few common examples. So when proposal is sent, maybe we want to have the proposal submitted date added to the deal record. We're going to go ahead and have that, and then we're going to make that required. Another example is when deals are closed, won, or lost. So you can go ahead, click Edit Properties, and let's add the close date and the closed won reason and make those required. And then we have closed lost. We can go ahead and have the closed lost reason. So we've updated our stages. We have the deal probability set. We've determined if we need to change editing access, and then we've added the properties we want updated at each stage. It's really, really important at this step. You want to make sure you click save, or else nothing will be saved. All of the work you just put in will not be saved, and you will have to redo it. So make sure you always click save. The next tab you want to click on is automate. And so this is kind of like a simplified version of the workflows tool. And you can add simple tasks or emails once the deal enters that stage. So for this example, let's say that after you have a qualified lead, you want to set a task for the salesperson to complete the marketing assessment. You're going to click on create workflow. And then on the right-hand side, you can choose from various tasks. There's create tasks and internal email notification, as well as several other different tasks you can do, or different actions you can set. But for this, we're going to go really simple. We're going to create a task, and we're going to call it complete marketing assessment. It's a to-do. You can also, there's different types you can set up. We're going to say we want it completed within 3 business days. You can also create a custom reminder. Let's say in 2 days, we want a reminder set. You can add in different notes if you need. You can associate it with the company records. You can make sure it's added to a task queue. You can do a priority. Let's make this medium. And then you can assign the task to a specific user or an existing owner of the deal. I'm going to go with an existing owner of the deal, and I'm going to go ahead and click save. There are so many different things you can do with this tool. It could be a whole other tech tip. Some other examples would be creating tasks like after the discovery call is completed, make sure to make a task for sending the proposal. After the proposal is sent, you can set up tasks to follow up with the prospect after the proposal is sent. There are so many different things you could do here, but we're going to keep it simple just for this example. So the tab you want to go to after that is deal tags. Now, I already have some set up that can apply to all different pipelines, so that's why they're showing up here. And so because I already have some set up, you're going to want to go and click on manage deal tags. And this is where you can modify them. So for this example, we've got tags for small deals, medium deals, and large deals. And this will color code your different pipelines to so you can identify them on the deal board. So just for an example, I'm going to go ahead and delete this large deal. I'm going to delete it and we're going to rebuild it. So what you do is you click on add tag. You're going to name it. So I'm going to say a large deal. You can go ahead and add a description if you want, and then pick a color. I'm going to choose red, and then you can choose if it's for all pipelines or specific pipelines. I'm going to do all pipelines, then click on add filters. And this is how it will determine what tag your deal will get. So I'm going to do amount is greater than $10,000. Then we're going to click review tag, and then it will show you how it will show up on the deal card. And review everything and then click save. So now I have a small, medium, and large deal set up to tag and color code our different deals. So the last thing we might want to go over is customizing the deal card. So it's under this board customization, which you can also customize deal tags from here. You can click on the deal card, and this is going to customize how it shows up on the pipeline. So for now, it shows the deal name, the amount, and the close date. You can add different things, like maybe you want to add the owner. You can go ahead, click on deal owner. You can add up to 4 properties. I found if you add the max amount of properties, sometimes it won't show your deal tag. So that's something you'll want to keep into consideration. For now, I'm just going to keep the deal amount and the close date, and then go ahead and click save. All right, so now that we've gone through how to set up a pipeline, I went ahead and I created a couple example deals in HubSpot. So we've got tech tip deal 1 and tech tip deal number 2. We've got the amount, the close date. It will also show you the recent activity and any tasks due. as well as the deal tags. Now, sometimes it takes a little bit of a delay for the deal tag to show up. So if you don't see it right away, don't be concerned. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for HubSpot to show it. So let's go ahead and create a deal together. I'm going to go ahead and click Create Deal. We'll name this Tech Tip Deal 3. And then we'll have this, you can choose the pipeline. It should default to the pipeline you're already on, but you can always change that if you have more than one. Then you've got the deal stage. So I'm going to leave that at qualified leads, but let's say you already completed the marketing assessment. You can go ahead and change that here. For the amount, let's say we want it to be 5,600. You can always update the close date. So let's say we want it 2 weeks from today. You can go ahead and change that. You can change the deal owner. It's going to default to you, whoever's creating the deal, but you can always change that if you need. You've got the deal type. If you want to add that, you can always also, this is a whole other tech tip, but you can also customize the different fields you see on this screen. So this might look different for you. And then lastly, we've got priority if you want to add that. And then finally, you have associate the deal with. So this is adding the contact and company that your different deal records are associated with. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to add myself as the contact. And then I'm going to go ahead and click create. And when you click create, it's going to bring you to the deal record. But you can just click on deals over here and go back to the pipeline. And you can see the deal we just created is right here under qualified leads. And you can kind of see how this should show medium deal, but it's taking a little bit of time for it to show up. So just keep that in mind. And as you move through the different process of the deal pipeline, what you can do is click on this card and then drag and drop it to the different stages. So now it's in marketing assessment. Let's say we've already had our discovery call completed, and then we have sent the proposal. We drag it over, and then a pop-up is going to show up to update this property. We're going to click on today's date, click on next, and now that property has been updated. So when you have a bunch of deals on here, you can go ahead and use different filters by deal owner, the create date, other advanced filters like amount, anything you need to kind of filter this down if you need. At the bottom, you'll see the total amount that the deals amount to. So for proposal sent, we've got 17,600 in there. And then we've got the weighted amount. So that is based on the deal probability. So that 10,560 is 60% of the anticipated close amount. So that is a quick run through of how to create a pipeline in HubSpot and how to use those deal cards in the pipeline. I hope you learned something from this tech tip. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you for our next tech tip. Bye.